Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the RWT podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me tonight, as always, is my boys DC Daniel Crimmins and the dead man of RWT, Mr. Paul Morales. WrestleMania has come and gone, and so are many superstars have come and gone, and it is the normal spring cleaning, if you will, after WrestleMania. The budget cuts galore, the releases, the expirations of contracts not being renewed, the whole nine. So let's start into this because throughout the day, we've been pissed, we've been mad, and now we got
I still am.
Dan is still pissed and still mad, so we're going to go to this first. So
I blame Chucklefuck.
I do blame Chucklefuck too. You know what? Fuck you, Chucklefuck, on that note. So here's the releases that we have thus far. And before we get into like the main ones, let's talk about these at the bottom here. So we did have some from NXT, and they were Dante Chen, who we saw on NXT, and he was later put on Evolve. We saw Serena Linton, who was on LFG. Tyra May Steele, who we saw on NXT with Tavian Heights against Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green! And Ethan Page on NXT TakeOver. Then she got moved over to Evolve. Chris Island, who was on LFG. Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont, who were a tag team in NXT. They were originally managed by Wesley, and then they were doing stuff also on Evolve. Luca Crucifino got his release. Ever since the family was done, they put him on Evolve, and he was doing this raver gimmick, and now he's on the unemployment line. Malik Blade, who is the former tag team partner of Aegis Enofe, is also gone, and Trill London, who was also a part of you'll actually see him as a part of LFG Season 3, which has already been filmed, and that will air this Sunday on A&E. So that is the releases thus far for NXT, as well as a very professional, teachable moment from Andre Chase, who also got released from the WWE. So I'm going to ask you guys first your thoughts on the NXT/Evolve people that we got gone. And Paul, I will start with you.
Those are not really my concern, although yes, Luca Cristofino actually revamped himself in Evolve, and it just seemed like, hey, you got a new gimmick, you're doing something different. Hey, you're trying out a new character. Okay, that's usually what you go down to, like NXT, and now you have Evolve. You go down there to try something different. Now that you're not in the group that you were in, you try and reestablish yourself in something in some other form of entertainment, as they would say. And it seemed like it was kind of catchy. To me, it was like, it was something different. Yeah, he was a little bit of a raver. Cool, fine, dandy. It probably would have caught on had you given it a little bit of time, but the lesser of all of these, the one that was Tyra May Steele, was kind of an interesting one, but she wasn't really catching on with a lot of the crowds, even when she went to NXT. To me, it just didn't seem like it wasn't generating, hey, I'm entertaining to people, or I'm trying to gravitate towards something. You go back to when Ethan and Chelsea were wrestling her, and it was like
they booed her.
They booed them. And then it's like USA versus Canada, and they literally booed her, and it was like, but you could tell who was over. Yeah. You could tell that Chelsea Green was just over. Even in NXT, she was just over. The character was over.
And that's my thing, too. Like, Tyra May Steele, when you saw her on LFG, they touted her, the Olympic gold medalist. She originally came in with Gable Steveson, who I believe is doing UFC soon, and he can go fuck himself. You saw a lot of potential there. When she got to Evolve, like, they tried to, like, establish her as the killer, actually show that killer instinct as the Olympic gold medalist, but it didn't really work as it should have. I mean, she was just kind of there. When you had women like Callie Armstrong and all those girls down there, she kind of fell out of place. Like, the wrestling, don't get me wrong, she's as strong as an ox and definitely has that feel, but she's no Kurt Angle, and she was not really good on the mic. I look at Malik Blade. Like, Malik Blade, his tag team partner was on Evolve. He got released. They were managed by Brindley Reese, and Malik Blade was out with injury, nothing. Like you mentioned, Luca, they had something for him, and then there's a stop. Chris Island was just doing some extra work as a security guard on NXT. Serena Linton, we really didn't see much of. Tyson and Tariq had a great look. They were a badass tag team. But when you have people like, I'll say it right now, when you have OTM and you have all these tag teams on the come up, again, you kind of fall sort of out of place. But the one that really got me here on the NXT side, I want to mention Andre Chase, because one of my favorites, the teachable moments, him, even with Ridge Holland, got that over as the tag team champions. Anything that he did with Brody and everything that he did with Thea Hale, the whole Chase University, that got over. It was goofy. It was funny. He could be intense when he needed to be, and he was just so doggone good. But I think with him, I look at it from a stance like this. I think he was coaching and helped training a lot of the guys and gals down there, being the vet that he is. But I think when you have Sean Spears now, who's doing the NXT coaching as well as wrestling, then it's kind of like, hey, what else do we got him for? But I think Andre Chase, whatever he does, is going to be fabulous. I always enjoyed his run. So, Dan, I'll let you go first on the NXT side. Your thoughts on the NXT Evolve side and your thoughts on the release of Andre Chase.
I'll start with Andre Chase. I always thought he had something. Think of like a face version of Dean Douglas.
I can see that.
In an alternate timeline, we have the college professor versus the college student.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sad. Like, he'd been there for a while. I don't want this to sound cold, but in a way, I'm not surprised that he got released. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. And it's not a slight on him and his abilities. It's just, I don't think they saw what we see in him.
Yeah, I think they just saw him as the comedy character and stuff like that. But I'm like, there's more to him than just the comedy character. Like, the dude can work. I think he had a chance to really be something. And trust me, I love what he was doing with, the other guys, the one who's Finley's kid, as well as the other gentleman who I can't remember his name right now. I mean, they tried with Chase U 2.0, but it wasn't as over because you didn't have the key ingredients like the Thea Hales and all them there. It was nice, but it didn't get over as it should. But I'm kind of in agreement with you on that. Before we get to our main ones, Paul,
hold on. I just have one more thing I had to say. I think if you look at Andre Chase, like as a character, like the character that he was playing, you can see there was some sort of consistency with how he developed that particular character as the teacher, as even when they were going through the whole gambling thing of him losing funds from the school, and everybody coming down on him, and then kind of revitalizing himself. They didn't give him the opportunity to have that part, to where here, I'm going to revamp the school or revamp the university and improve on it and do something different with the character. We all change, at some point in our lives, and given that could have been a different direction for creatively that he could have gone, or at least Sean could have at least had him come in and say, do something completely different. Instead, it was just pretty much a repetitive same thing, just with nobody there behind him or nobody there for around him that he can, kind of like the graduates have moved on and bringing in the new class.
I like that comparison. So Chase U 2.0 was like Saved by the Bell, the new class.
Yeah, it's pretty much is what. Thank you. That's exactly what I would have said.
I'll do you another reference.
Okay.
Chase U, the original, the OG, is the Golden Girls. Chase U 2.0 is the Golden Palace.
Oh my God! Look at Daniel Crimmins with the Golden Palace. Oh man, Don Cheadle says hello. Good Lord. Hey,
Chase U 1.0 is the Godfather. Chase U 2.0 is the Godfather Part 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I mean, okay, so even if we go along with the people that were released from Evolve and NXT, you know that at some point in time they'll go on the indie scene, they'll redevelop them, re-establish themselves into something different, and go out maybe to AEW, maybe to TNA, maybe go out to MLW or
GCW.
Or GCW, or Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, but go somewhere where they can hone their skills, develop themselves, develop a particular character, and find their niche in this industry. And we already know that those people can do that. We can hit up the established stars. Michael, hit the list.
All right. So we'll start with this one first because of the way this Twitter account has done it thus far. This is a fan account here. So here's also who we have. We'll start with this one. Apollo Crews. Wow. The fact that Apollo Crews has been there the entire time. We saw him wrestle recently on Main Event. He's been doing those matches. This man came into the main roster in 2016. I mean, him and Titus O'Neil were Titus Worldwide, former United States champion during the pandemic era, feuding with the likes of Andrade and MVP and Bobby Lashley. Then we saw him do the Nigeria gimmick with Commander Aziz and everything that went into that gimmick. He spoke Nigerian, and he's a former WWE Intercontinental Champion. Then he kind of, was around and doing his thing. And then he was in NXT for a little bit. I enjoyed his work in NXT during the 2.0 years. And then when Shawn was really starting to establish 2.0, a little character resurgence for Apollo Crews. Then he comes back to the main roster. He had that brief tag team with Baron Corbin, which I thought would have went places, but it really didn't. And then he was just kind of around. We saw him recently in the mix with the Wyatt Six and that whole feud, teaming with, the Matt Cardonas of the world and all of these guys. So he was just in the mix. And this was now his time after a 10-year run in the WWE. Apollo Crews' tenure ends within WWE. So I will start with you on this one, Paul. Apollo Crews finally got the axe. Uha Nation.
I really don't want this to sound as if I'm going to be an asshole.
Okay.
But what took him so long? Because I think, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, I mean that if you had an opportunity to do something somewhere else and you have an opportunity to thrive somewhere else, he should have taken the opportunity. He should have just genuinely asked for his release and been like, hey, look, I'm not really doing much here, but I really feel like in my heart of hearts, I could do more, and I could do more somewhere else. Hell, he could have went to TNA. TNA before this whole joint partnership with WWE. He could have went there, and much like Mustafa Ali, like him, and go over there and do something different. And I really hope and pray that this guy, that Apollo Crews, goes to TNA, because that's a division. That's a men's division that is lacking stars, and that is lacking presence of just new stars that are there, because we've watched WWE pretty much take one of their best stars in Joe Hendry. And we've seen what they're doing with him, and then again, it's like, either people are leaving to AEW or they're leaving to WWE. And I think on this list are quite a few people who I believe could head to TNA, not AEW, who could head to TNA and do something there.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm going to be in agreement with you on a lot of these of who to go to TNA, like you mentioned with Mustafa, like what he did with the international title, the X Division title. You have so many divisions for Apollo Uha Nation to compete in, and I think he could definitely reinvent himself, new character, kind of like what we had in NXT within the resurgence era when he went back in the later years. There's something there, but I think they just used him as a guy like, okay, put this guy over. All right, we need Apollo to go in there and do this. But hey, I think he'll finally get it, much like a Mustafa. I agree. I think he's someone that definitely needs to go to TNA, sharpen the skill.
And he has the ring experience. You can't just say like he doesn't, like he's just not going to do anything. Dude has ring presence, but he also has the experience, especially coming from WWE. So I would think that it would be a smart decision on his part to try and venture over to TNA, much like Mustafa Ali, and say, I could do something else over here and do something great.
Now, Dan, your thoughts on the release 10 years of Apollo Crews?
I think the Nigerian Prince gimmick did him absolutely no favors.
No.
None at all. Like, the dude could fucking go. Like, and I guarantee Vince probably went to the the performance center one day, saw him working on it. Who's that guy? Oh, his name is Uhan. We're no. We're gonna call him Apollo Crews. I want him on the main roster.
That was also my problem, just to go on to your point, because you saw during like the Breaking Ground series that they had him working on his finisher in NXT, and that was my big proponent 10 years ago with Apollo, and it still is now. They called him up to the main roster way too quick.
Exactly. Like, it's clear he wasn't ready. And it's the brief tag team that you mentioned with him and Corbin. Like, I feel like that could have been something.
They had Baron Corbin finally being a babyface, Apollo Crews finally getting some time, officially, him getting some time to shine. Hell, I go back to the days. Remember they did that whack-ass handicap match in 2016? It was Apollo and Kalisto against Dolph Ziggler on a pay-per-view, and I forgot which one it was, but I'm just like, come on. That was when Dolph Ziggler was coming out to like the record scratch and no music and all that crap. Yeah. Just, I don't know, man. Like, he had such potential, still does, but yeah, he needs to go and reinvent himself. Like, for real, Dan.
You know, honestly, because he's still in good shape, and I don't think he's all that old.
No, he's still in great shape. Like, I saw him on Main Event not too long ago. He's in great shape. Let me see how old Apollo Crews is now.
I would not mind seeing him go to New Japan.
Oh, Apollo is 38 now.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He was born in 1987. He's 38.
I would have thought he was older.
I know, and he's only 38, but he looks great.
So I honestly, he's got a good couple years left. You know, he could go to TNA. You know, not a bad decision. Honestly, I think that's where a lot of these people are going to end up. I think, you know, I AEW, maybe. But I really would like to see him in Japan.
I think so. Well, here's my thing with AEW. What are you going to do with him if he goes to AEW? You're going to put him in Ring of Honor?
Probably what they'd end up doing with him.
I'm just saying, like, that's the problem with Tony. You have something with Ring of Honor that you can make like an NXT, but it's like you're just keeping it around just for the sake of keeping it around. And that's my big problem with how you run Ring of Honor.
What they need to do is have it be the answer to NXT.
Agreed.
Treat it like that.
So then here we go. Dear Tony Khan.
Tony.
You need to make ROH exactly what it used to be, and you need to make it your version of NXT. Because if you don't, then you just have it there for fuck's sake.
I mean, look at the poor inspiration. Like, the inspiration go from TNA to AEW. They have one match on TV, and now they're on Ring of Honor.
Not very iconic, is it?
Iconic! Oh, now speaking of someone who is iconic, this is just a damn shame. It is a crime, and we're going to move on to someone who also has the letter A in their name. Not just Apollo Crews, but we also found out today Alba Fire has been released from the WWE. The former Kaylee Ray of NXT UK, former NXT UK Women's Champion, had great matches with the likes of Toni Storm, Isla Dawn, who was her former tag team partner, who is now in AEW as a part of the Ring of Honor brand. They were tag team champions. Mako Satomura, she wrestled and was great stuff. Piper Niven, her and Chelsea Green, the Secret Hervis. NXT run was fantastic. Like, everything this girl did was something that was just splendid and just something that was pure and utter magic. We first saw her in the Mae Young Classic back in 2017. And then immediately right after her ICW match with Viper, and boom, she gets signed to WWE. We see her in NXT UK. We see her in NXT, like I mentioned. She was just fire, and she even just put out the tweet, pun intended, that Kaylee Ray would absolutely dominate Alba Fire, and that was her tweet and her exit out of the WWE. So I thought that was very cool. You can tell she's very excited to be in Kaylee Ray again. Again, another damn shame, man. Like, I love what she was doing with Chelsea Green. And now Chelsea's all by herself. Chelsea Green put out a great post about see how underrated Alba Fire is, Kaylee Ray. But honestly, I've been thinking about this too with her. I mean, Isla is in AEW, but I'm also thinking to myself, they could do great stuff with her in Tekla, Jamie Hayter. We could do stuff with Alex Windsor. I'm also looking on the TNA front. Like, you got the Indy Hartwells of the world. You got the Zaya Brooksides over the world in the Knockouts division. But I think wherever she goes is going to be absolutely fire, once again, pun intended. So, Paul, I'll start with you. Alba Fire, Kaylee Ray.
I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
which I'm pretty sure you're not going to.
You're wrong.
You take Alba Fire, Zoe Stark,
Yep.
Nikki Cross,
Yep.
Zelina Vega,
Yep.
and Kairi Sane,
Yep.
and you stick them all in the women's division of TNA, you know how fire that knockouts division will be.
And yep, and
5 women, and you don't. And we're not talking about Nikki Cross, Nikki ASH. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Nikki Cross, the one that actually wrestled, the one that was the wrestler. You take her, you take Kairi. We already know what Kairi can do. We know what Zelina can do. We know what Zoe can do, and we know what Alba Fire can do, or Kaylee Ray. We know what they can do. All 5 of those women. Stick them in that TNA division. That knockouts division is just fire, pun intended.
And Dan, your thoughts on the release of Alba Fire / Kaylee Ray?
I hate this trope of, oh, hey, someone gets released. Oh, they should go to AEW. I normally disagree with that with a lot of people. But her, Kaylee Ray, goddamn, Tony, as soon as she's free, I don't know if she was released or if they're just letting her contract run out. Sign her. The second you can, sign her. And you could do both with her. You could have her as tag team champion. You could also have her, in the main title picture. I would look forward to seeing her and Tony Storm run it back.
That's another one. Great NXT UK feud. She's the one who took the belt off of Tony at NXT UK. I like your history there. Boom.
I'm gonna take some words from Weezy Blonde.
Yes.
Every time we hear of people being released, we all get sad, but we all get angry because a lot of these people are still human beings, regardless of whether we agree with them being released or whether or not why they're released, or whether they asked for their release, or whether their contracts weren't renewed. We're just sad because they're moving on to somewhere else. It's not like they're dead. It's just that they're moving on to somewhere else. And, as wrestling fans, we're going to follow them. If no matter where they land at, we just know that we're going to continue to keep supporting them, with whatever they do. So I wanted to get that out because for many of these wrestlers, we love the characters, and we know, like Motor City Machine Guns, we know their history. We've known their history since the early 2000s. We've known how great of a tag team they are. I just think a lot of these people are gonna land where they're gonna land, and no matter where they land, they're gonna kick ass, no matter what.
Alrighty, and as we go through the list, we'll group a lot of these together. So after Alba Fire, the name that you mentioned, Zoe Stark. Here's my thing about Zoe Stark. This girl was, from what it was reported by Fightful, she was on her way back from being cleared, and then they're like, "No, bye." What she did with Trish Stratus helped her out so much during that whole feud with Becky Lynch and being her sidekick. I thought that was great. Poor PCB, man. Just like, not PCB. What the hell was the name of her? Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville. The hell was the name of that? PCP. Something like that. Something.
It was something like that. PCB or something like that.
Some shit. Daniel, look that up, please, while we're talking. So, they
had...
Thank you. So, that group had so much potential because you had the 2 MMA chicks in there, and then you had all 3 of them collectively are badasses, and you could have done something, but they really didn't get that off the ground. And then, you know, she started in NXT during the pandemic era. Her and Io Sky were the tag team champions. Then she comes up to the main roster. She's in the mix. She had this great match with Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series, and she showed a lot of potential. The girl could work, but just one freak incident gets her injured. The match with Kairi Sane drop kicked her right in the flipping knee. And then she's rehabbing. You're looking forward to seeing when she comes back. And then right before that, they literally cut the legs out of her. Like with Zoe Stark, like she's another one for me. Like you mentioned, and we'll say this a lot here, but it's so true, Paul. I could definitely see her in TNA racking up a lot of these girls. And what was the name of the group?
It was PFC, the Pure Fusion Collective.
Thank you, the Pure Fusion Collective. They had such potential, but yeah, I don't know. But I think Zoe's another one. If you stack her in the TNA division, like you mentioned, I'm right there with you, Paul.
I think you look at Daria. Daria's there too. So, but I mean, that's another person who could wrestle.
Yep.
You throw Zoe Stark over there. I don't know. It just amazes me, and it saddens me. Like there's so much potential in this group, especially the upper part of this group that they didn't do anything with.
Yeah.
So creatively, the worst part is Kairi Sane was in the middle of a fucking story.
We're about to finish off her turning on Asuka.
How was it that you let go somebody who was in the middle of a fucking story?
They did that.
You know what? No, let's go back to that one post that I sent you guys. It was like Triple H was there, but it was TKO's decision. How the fuck are you gonna sit there and not fight for her when she's in the middle of a fucking story?
So here is the best.
Explain that to fans. How are you gonna put this woman in a story and release her?
So this is what Paul's referring to. I sent this in our chat before we did the show. This is from Wrestle Movement. The talent that departed WWE today were informed by TKO that they were being let go. Triple H is always involved in some capacity, meaning, hey, this is who we're going to fire. Do it.
I'll do it. Fuck the TKO.
Fuck the TKO.
Much like we say fuck Hulk Hogan, fuck the TKO, because that's some bullshit.
It is.
Allow me.
Get it.
Fuck the TKO. Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Fuck the Paul Levesque. Fuck the Ari Emanuel.
Fuck Tony Khan.
And he's all right by me right now. Right now. But this is all fucking bullshit.
No, it was Nick Khan, not Tony Khan.
Fuck Nick Khan.
Oh yeah, him too. He's cursed.
And fuck Mark Shapiro.
Oh, Mark fucking Shapiro. Good God.
Like, you have all this fucking talent. You know, some of them I understood they were rarely on TV. You know what? So we're not going to get a payoff. We're not going to get the payoff for Io and Asuka and Kairi. You know, I was involved in that. Like,
yeah, it was great. Like they put time and effort into this,
and I gotta think there's more releases coming.
I mean, Mark Shapiro has also confirmed that TKO has complete control over WWE creative. Great.
I think realistically, you know, I keep going back to that Vince McMahon promo, Lethal Dose of Poison.
Yep.
I think he knew what their eventual plan was. Like, eventually, WWE is gonna be a husk of what it once was. You know, it's gonna be an empty shell. I think they're gonna continue to gut, you know, the roster, gut the company.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be shocked if at some point they sell.
Now, this was the big part about it, too, besides Mark Shapiro's earnings. This one I have to mention because it also pissed me off. So, speaking at the University of Alabama, TKO President Mark Shapiro addressed and defended the recent rise in celebrity appearances in WWE, and he said, and I quote, having Hollywood tie-ins, celebs and stars like Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, Mark Wahlberg showing up and doing their thing, and Tyrese Halliburton getting into it in the ring with Jalen Brunson, that's not new. It's just on a larger stage now. We are spending a lot more money to market the brand and the content. And when you do that, you're going to win some folks over, but you're also going to lose some folks away. So that was what Mark Shapiro had to say speaking at the University of Alabama.
Fuck that clown.
Paul, you want to take it away on that? I know Pat McAfee has admitted him and Jelly Roll were like, nah, well, we shouldn't have been involved. We don't want to be involved in this.
You can see by the fan backlash, and you already know this by the fan backlash. Pat McAfee already said, I don't want to be involved in it because I don't want to. I'd much rather just say, hey, guess what? I'm going to cut my ties and be like, I'm done. Thank you, WWE Universe, for the time, and he said it, in a speech and even on his show. Thank you for my time. I appreciate it. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. Jelly Roll pretty much said, you know what? In an IG post said, hey, look, I understand that the fans don't want us there. They've been saying that they don't want us there. Okay, fine and dandy. I'm not going to be there. So he backed out. That's probably why they canceled the Backlash match between Cody and Jelly Roll and Randy and Pat McAfee. So that just tells you enough right there. Period.
It just, again, they're trying to make it like UFC, and I'm like, this is not UFC. You're killing it for everybody, man. And then also this came out. This was from Brandon Thurston. Happy.
The other thing I think is worth repeating.
Yes.
I mentioned it on our last show. The problem that WWE is going to be encountering within the next 5 to 6 years is the fact that their roster is old.
Yep.
Damian Priest is well into his 40s. Truth is in his 50s. Cody, I think early to mid 40s.
He's in his late 30s.
Late 30s. Okay, so he's probably got another 10 or so years, give or take. You have a lot of talent that is nearing the end. Orton, he probably doesn't have too much longer.
Now, I'll give him about like another 2 years, 3 years.
And see the problem there? AJ's gone.
Yep, no more AJ.
It's.
I mean, AJ's still there. He's in there in a capacity where he's just he's going to be doing backstage stuff, which is fine.
I mean, his in-ring stuff.
In-ring stuff is like out the door. So like you don't have talent, and you're letting go people that could be that.
And the thing, too, is we have to bring this up. So this is from Brandon Thurston. So TKO CEO Ari Emanuel was paid $67.4 million in 2025. TKO president and CEO Mark Shapiro, $42.6 million. So it's just, give me my money. I want it now.
They want to raise. It's simple as that. They guarantee you they probably wanted a raise or a bonus, they can justify it to shareholders, just so that, hey, they're making profit.
So I want to go back to Paul's point here because Paul also mentioned Kairi Sane's in the middle of a feud. Well, somebody else who was originally supposed to be involved with Randy Orton and all that good stuff at the Cody Rhodes thing, after almost 1 year coming back into the WWE after leaving AEW, we can confirm the release of Aleister Black and his wife, Zelina Vega. After 1 full calendar year, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are gone.
That's fucking horrible.
That's horrible. And now I can see Aleister Black going back to AEW and doing the House of Black again.
And her with him.
And her with him this time, yeah. Guys, we mentioned Kairi and how I also mentioned like when Mustafa got released, like he was about to face Dominic for the North American title and then they cut him. But for this one, your guys' thoughts on the release of Aleister and Zelina. Dan, I'll start with you on this one. After 1 year.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like all the people that you could have let go, him.
Yep.
But what gets me is you brought all these talents into WrestleMania week or weekend, and you knew the whole fucking time you were going to get rid of them.
Probably. it's one of those things too. Like I'm going to play Zelina Vega right here because she was not happy at Sean Ross Sapp, and this is something that really did make the round. She was on her Twitch stream, and this is what she had to say about Sean Ross Sapp and the dirt sheets.
But yeah, I also would have appreciated if Sean Ross Sapp or whoever the fuck announced it could have at least given me the decency to like let me do it myself first. But fuck you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. I would be pissed too. Like, let me say this to my fans and to my people instead of hearing it from you, Sean.
My question is,
yes,
who the fuck told him?
Well, but remember how he always ends up getting his information is that he knows people in WWE. It's not like
he doesn't know people.
Not like he doesn't know people.
Probably somebody from, because I've noticed they don't really do WWE has come to terms on the release of such and such person. We wish them the best in future endeavors. They don't do that anymore.
No, it's just like, okay, they're gone.
Oh, they were never here.
They're never here. Nah.
Hey, Alistair, come back to my company. I'll pay you and your wife.
And you know he'll go back because he's got Buddy, he's got Brody, so we can have the reformation of everything that's gone there with the House of Black, which I think would be cool. I know Julia Hart's doing her thing now with the Sinisters of Sin and all that good stuff, so it is what it is. Now, let's talk about another release here. Before we get to the main one of the Wyatt Six, I want to touch upon this one. The Motor City Machine Guns. So Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley come back. They immediately win the WWE Tag Team titles from the MFTs and the Tongans. Tama Tonga and Tagaloa, that being. And then they're involved in the mix. They have the feud with DIY. They're facing the Wyatt Six. They're in the mix with Fraxium. They're in there with Los Garza. They're kind of just around after they lost the tag team titles. And then really nothing. Like, in a way, they were kind of involved in the storyline because remember, Alex Shelley, like when he with Johnny Gargano was depressed, and Chris Sabin's like, hey, man, are you focused on the Motor City Machine Guns or what are we doing here? So we probably could have teased maybe a heel turn for the Motor City, but they had something that they could have worked with there, but nothing really sufficed from it. So Motor City Machine Guns is another one that I want them to go back to TNA because when you think of TNA, you think of the Motor City Machine Guns against Beer Money and the Best of 7 series. You think of the Motor City Machine Guns against the Young Generation Me. You think of them against Team 3D, the only people to kick out of the 3D. So you have stuff that you could do with the tag team. And yes, I know AEW, a lot of people want to see 16 years later the Motor City Machine Guns against the Young Bucks or the Motor City Machine Guns against the Rascals. Like there's stuff there. But if it's me, when you think of OGs of TNA, they're ones I want to see back in TNA. So Dan, I'll go with you again on this one. Motor City Machine Guns.
Again, absolutely fucking bullshit. The crowd loved them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had so many options with them, and you fucking fumbled. You know, we like to laugh and say, "Oh, Tony fumbled." You're getting rid of all your stars, and you know, I'll put it this way. You know, you mentioned Generation Me. Whatever happened to those two young gentlemen?
Those two young gentlemen, those young bucks, if you will, became all elitists, from what I heard. Now, do you want to see them back in AEW or back in TNA, Dan?
Well, I feel that there's teams in AEW like I would love to see again. Love to see them in the Bucks of Youth, you know, run it back.
Rascals, like I mentioned, it would be interesting.
You know, but both could go back to TNA. But I just think the money is in AEW.
Well, I'll ask you, Motor City Machine Guns, your thoughts on the release, and what do you say, TNA or AEW?
I think we have to find out where they are in their career. You know, I want to know if they still want to continue going on, whether Alex Shelley wants to go on, whether Sabin wants to go to, you know, continue on. It's just, it all depends on them. You know, I would think if they want to continue their career, I would probably say go to New Japan, but if they want to stay in the States, I would probably say, well, I don't know. Well, you know what? You want to know who I think needs a shot in the arm or needs somebody in? Because I think they're just starting to do their tag team division.
Who's that?
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
There you go. All right, they have a relationship with Scott D'Amore,
and they got us really. I was just gonna say the relationship with Scott D'Amore is right there. So I mean, I would think even the partnership with AEW. I mean, I think you would think that it would be kind of a no-brainer for them to go there and do work with them. I mean, to me it makes sense.
Well, I'll tell you what didn't make sense. Now, this one also made us shake our heads. Before we get to the Wyatt Six, Santos Escobar. So we saw him in AAA after they really did nothing with what they were doing with Legado de Fantasma. They had Los Garza do their tag team thing. We didn't really see Santos anymore. Him in the main roster with Rey Mysterio and Carlito. Santos Escobar and all that good stuff with the LWO. Like, a lot of stuff that he did, like, he was great in NXT. I loved his feud with the family. I loved everything that he did. Such an amazing talent, so underrated. I loved him from the King Cuerno days and Lucha Underground. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, you just got him in AAA. We were trying to see some focus on him, and now he's out the door. So for me, I mean, he's competed in the X Division and TNA under the name of El Fantasma. So I'd love to see him there. AEW, you know, he could do something with Andrade, but for the love of God, don't put – that's the problem I would have with him. They'd probably put him in the Don Callis family. And I'm like, no, don't you dare. So Santos Escobar is another one that really shocked me in this. But God dang it, do your thing, Santos. Paul, your thoughts on the release of Santos Escobar after we just put him in AAA?
I go back to Kyrie saying, you just had him in a storyline and you have her in a storyline. How is it that you send Santos to AAA and now you're just going to release him? Like, you didn't even give him an opportunity. Like, even Mark Calloway probably could have used him way more and a hell of a lot better than what he was doing on the main roster and what he was doing in, you know, on either SmackDown or Raw. You know, at least there, no language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
He can go there and work his ass off. But no, now he's gone. Where do I think he should go? I don't think he should go to AEW. I think he should just go on the indies and just run it out there. If he wants to go anywhere, CMLL would probably be my choice.
I like that. I think he would
GCW, okay.
MLW.
CMLL would probably be my first choice for him.
Dan made also great comparison. MLW, I think, would definitely have him in a heartbeat, but it's crazy, man. Your thoughts, Daniel, on Santos Escobar and just him now getting released?
He's another one that had it. You know, he had that charisma, that vibe. You know, it's, you know, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
Way to kick a person when they're down.
So, speaking of kicking people when they're down, this is the last of the releases. You did mention Nikki Cross, and I think she'll do very well. Knockouts division, I would love to see her do some stuff within the undead realm because they got that stuff going on now with Rosemary and Allie being resurrected from the dead. We'll probably see Su Young in there. Like, that would be sweet. I don't know, man, but I think Nikki Cross will do fine wherever she is. She made the most out of everything. Nikki ASH was my least favorite character persona of her. They tried, but it was just a no. And then they tried to make that character heel, and that still didn't work. Her best runs was when she was Crazy Nikki, the Sanity in NXT. Even her stuff with Alexa was great in the Wyatt Six. But and let's get to the Wyatt itself. Eric Rowan, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, and Bo Dallas. After everything, this poor guy, like Mike Rotunda's in the Hall of Fame, like Barry Windham. We're talking about the U.S. Express. You know they were going to put Bray Wyatt in that doggone Hall of Fame. Poor Bo Dallas is gone from WWE again. If I'm Dexter Lumis, I'm going to TNA. You got Indy there. I'd love to see something with Index. Joe Gacy, I'd love to see him do his thing in GCW. I think he would do his thing around the Indies, would be sweet. Eric Rowan, we saw him in AEW do his thing. I think that could be something because Brody Lee, the tie-in there. But poor Bo Dallas. I felt so bad for him the most just because of everything. So I'll let Dan start. The release of the Wyatt Six.
From the get-go, they didn't do shit with the Wyatt Six to what they could have done.
Right.
We could have you could have let them flesh out the characters. You know, you had so much potential. Just another fuck you to Bray Wyatt. You know, and it's everyone has said how talented Taylor Rotunda Bo Dallas is. I think for them, I would like to see as a collective them go to TNA.
Right.
You know, don't call it the Wyatt Six. Call it whatever.
Well, I mean, you have the Righteous there. And, like, I love to see them against the Righteous. I love to see them against the Hardy Boys, have Broken Matt and the Broken Universe do the stuff there with Bray Wyatt. Like, you have, like, a lot of stuff there that you can use, and I think that would definitely heighten them. You mentioned about AEW, too. Like, you would like to see, like, another reformed version of what the Dark Order was.
Yeah, they could do that.
That would be cool, too. Like, there's so many options there. But I think for me, it's like you have these guys come in. It's a great tribute. They destroy everybody. They have the feud with American Alpha. And then they have the feud with the Final Testament, which really didn't get resolved because all the guys got released and they just moved The Miz to SmackDown and never really followed up on that. And then you see them go away for a little bit. Then they become the tag team champions. They have that awesome TLC match at SummerSlam. And then they go into this feud with the MFTs for the Lantern after they take the tag titles. He finally gets the Lantern back because Tom was like, here you go. And then we saw the last time we saw them last week on SmackDown in the street fight to heighten the Tama Tonga getting away from the MFTs. MFTs beat them in the street fight. Goodbye, White Six. And they didn't need to do that match. Well, they should have just stopped after he got the Lantern, but no. So it pissed me off. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh no. As soon as I saw Nikki Cross, we were all thinking it. We were all collectively thinking, oh God, they're going to get rid of the Wyatt Six, and they did. Paul, I'll go to you next. Your thoughts on the release of the Wyatt Six and Bo Dallas, especially, because my God, this is almost.
I'll start with the collective.
Yeah.
I go back to Kyrie.
Yep.
You're in the middle of a fucking storyline and you release people. And it's not really like it's a legit, powerful storyline, but still, nonetheless, you're in the middle of a storyline and you release people. That's the thing that hurts fans the most. Especially those of us who are invested in watching these people.
Yeah.
How are you going to go out and tell your fan base, hey, guess what? We released this person and, now next week when they come back on, it's like Control Alt Delete. Like it never fucking happened. Like they weren't in the middle of the storyline. So now what are you going to do with Kyrie and with Asuka and Io? Their story all of a sudden now just gets smashed. You know what? Throw it on the back burner. You know what? No, everybody will forget about it in 2 weeks.
Well, that's problem.
because we were just invested in a storyline that you've been telling for the last 9 fucking months.
But Paul, that's my problem too, because 2 weeks is backlash, and it's like, what are we supposed to like delete? Like you mentioned, Control Alt Delete Kyrie and just go straight to Asuka and Io 1-on-1. It's like we're supposed to forget that she was there. We got 2 weeks of the pay-per-view.
It's the neuralizer from Men in Black.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. But no, I have to agree.
The group, hold on. The group as a core, I just feel like you fucked up the moment that the week after you debuted them, because you did nothing with them. You did no presence, no them coming out, no nothing. 2 weeks, nothing. 3 weeks, nothing. Why did we almost have to wait nearly 7 weeks for them to come back on the TV? And it was like, okay, we almost forgot about them. They destroyed your back. You destroyed everybody in the back, but yet you did nothing with them. Do I blame Triple H? Yes, because creatively, it's like you had the idea in your head, but yet you did nothing with it. It was almost like the Firefly Funhouse. The whole gimmick that Bray went from being being the Fiend to just all of a sudden now he's just this lovable character, you know, kind of crazy, kind of lunatic. But yet the Funhouse was like, it was something that he was kind of developing. They did not develop this. They did not develop the whole group. You knew you wanted to put it together as a way of honoring Bray Wyatt, which is fine. Great, fine dandy. You have the brother of Bray Wyatt there as the leader of this group. Great, fine, dandy. You did nothing. Absolutely shit. And you may as well just say you shit on Bray Wyatt's legacy by putting the group together, naming it Wyatt, and not doing anything with it. So yes, as fans, we're fucking pissed because you took the whole collective of a group and did nothing with it. That's why we're angry.
Bo Dallas Taylor Rotunda came out of retirement for this. He didn't need to come back. But,
and this is a big fuck you to come back.
Yeah. So they have continuously fucked over Wyndham Rotunda, you know, multiple ways. The Wyatt Six was set up to fail from the start. And I do blame Triple H for a lot of it. Like you said, it was something like 6-7 weeks that they weren't on TV. You don't have to have them wrestle. Just have them show up.
Well, I think after like how many times, and first of all, I love the segments were creative, but I love how they introduced them and how that emotional of just Bray, you know, do you blame your brother? Or you blame yourself for your brother dying? And those heart to hearts with every member to introduce them. And then they, you know, they tormented Chad Gable and everything. And then the Creed brothers beat down Bo. And then, you know, that they go after him. And then it leads to the great street fight match that they had, which was cool. And you involved Ivy Nile and American Alpha. But my thing too is like, how many times are we going to do the videotape? Like, I thought the videotape was cool, but that's all they did was just, here, Pat, here's a videotape for like 5 weeks. And then they're back on TV. And then they're going off TV. And then they start the Final Testament feud. Get it.
3 months ago.
Yes.
3 months ago, I would say after Royal Rumble, sometime maybe around the Royal Rumble or after the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Remember, we started getting like the little images that were in the back. We started getting the little that little crow, and then we started getting the little icons, and then we started getting the QR codes again, and then it was like, okay, cool, we're excited, yeah, we're happy, you know, and people are getting into it. Then it was like it went away. You know, then all of a sudden you see like images of like Bray Wyatt, or not Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas in the back talking to somebody, and then you see him like pass by, you know, when either Jackie Redmond's interviewing somebody or Kathy Kelly's interviewing somebody in the back, and you see like a faint like picture go or someone just going right behind them in the dark. You had things set for them and that you did nothing with them. Why?
I have to, you know, it's so funny that you bring that up because it's like, and we'll get to Raw because they feuded with the Street Profits and that went on forever. And then they disappeared and then they come back to this feud with the MFTs. My thing too is with this group, you gave them the tag titles. You had something for them. And I'm thinking, okay, they got some, but they're moved to SmackDown. And then it was just shit because we've complained over and over again about their tag team division. But I think at the end of the day, too, like we're literally, when they all got released collectively here, it's almost 5 years when Bray originally got released, which is even crazier to think. Like he gets released almost 5 years to where Bray Wyatt got released. And we were all pissed then in 2021 when he got released. So it's literally almost 5 years apart.
You know, if I'm the family of Wyndham Rotunda,
yeah.
I and WWE wants to put him in the Hall of Fame, I just say no.
This is the one that really bothered me, just because I'm like, my mom even said it. Shout out to Mama Lark. She's like, does this company even believe in sentimentality or anything sacred? I'm like, no, they don't.
No, TKO doesn't believe in anything
but money.
Doesn't believe in that. As long as they're making their money, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about anybody's legacy or anything.
To
Which
further
brings
address
you. Okay, go for it. Sorry, Dan. Go for it.
this is the same fucking company that inducted Stephanie McMahon into the Hall of Fame 10 years to the day that Joni Laurel, China, passed away.
And as I'm looking at this, just to go into your point about how like crazy this is, because much like you said, that pissed me off about the China thing being 10 years and there's Stephanie up there. But Bray Wyatt originally got released on July 31st, 2021. So Bo got released 3 months before Bray originally did in 2021. So there's some parallels there, and it's another just like gut wrenching thing for the Wyatts.
Yeah, but this isn't the first time that Bo's fucking been released.
I know he got released. Yeah, this is the second time being released.
Shout out to our friend Denise Salcedo. And she had mentioned on her live stream tonight for SmackDown. It's interesting how she was just on the red carpet with like half of these people.
Yep.
She was just on the red carpet for the Hall of Fame talking to Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kairi Sane. I think she had talked to Nikki Cross. I think she had talked to Nikki Cross. She actually had pictures with Zoe Stark, and I think she had one with Alba Fire too. And I think she was just talking with them on the carpet, and it was like crazy to think that not just 1 week ago we were on the red carpet, or she was on the red carpet talking with these people, talking to them about them being on the main roster, what they were gonna do and stuff like that, and then this shit.
And I think Cody Rhodes' promo tonight on SmackDown really summed it up with a message to TKO. He said, the most important message I want to send is to those outside forces that kept interceding and interjecting into my WrestleMania plans that want to get involved in this nightmare family party. I'll make it simple. You guys are 0-3. Send your best or count your money and mind your damn business. And Randy Orton was not there tonight as he was hurt. His back was hurting. So Cody cut this great promo. So now we will see who's going to challenge Cody next for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship going into Backlash. SmackDown tonight we'll get into because there were some takeaways.
It isn't going to be Aleister Black. It isn't going to be fucking Santos Escobar.
Nope.
It ain't going to be fucking Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy.
So one thing that will also get us pissed. So, first of all, the people in Las Vegas really need to stop being crazy. Don't go there to WrestleMania. And after all this crap that we had this week, poor Royce Keys, somebody got in his face and like, this is my own time. We saw everything and anything. And I'm not going to play the video because they took it down for copyright reasons. But this motherfucker had the audacity. And this is the CM Punk fan. So for those that didn't see it, CM Punk knocked the phone out of this dude's hands. So the thing was, Bayley and AJ Lee were trying to have a private moment in the lobby of this hotel. And Bayley saw the guy, filming him. Yeah, Bayley, we love you. And he's like, dude, get out of here. Because he's trying to have a moment. She's trying to have a moment with AJ Lee. They're hugging, they're talking. And CM Punk just goes, bah! And smacks the phone right out of his hand. And then he's like, sorry, Punk. And he goes, no, you're not. And then as he walks away, the little bitch boy goes, you having a bad day? I'm like, bro, you really want to do that? Okay. This fucking coward. But the best comes out of this. So the fan who got into an incident with CM Punk after WrestleMania says he wants an apology from Punk. He sent his side of the video, which makes him look even worse, to TMZ. And he said, I want an apology. Shake my hand. I'm not going to sue him or put him in jail. I just want an apology. Number one, this person is probably MAGA. And number two, I hate to say it like that, but it's probably true. Number two, he don't owe you a goddamn thing. He was protecting his wife because you're being a fucking douche, you fucking chode. Oh my God, he might have broke your phone. You could get another phone. Fuck, it's not like he didn't put his hands on you. He could have done a lot worse. He stared you down. He could have done a lot worse. He smacked your phone out of your hand because you were being a dumbass and you were being intrusive and invading someone's privacy. And I know people can be like, oh, it's the limelight. This is what they asked for. This is the lifestyle. You don't film people while they're hugging, or you don't film people without their consent. What the fuck is wrong with you? Paul, go ahead.
And you thought my rants were crazy. Look, this was the MGM Grand. This was the lobby of the MGM Grand. What's crazy is the stories that we've heard coming out of. Booker T going into the bathroom and someone following him in there with a video, taking a video of him. Sean Waltman walking into the bathroom with someone trying to take a picture of his junk. This one, even Denise had said something. Even go on Wheezy Blonde. Wheezy Blonde said that somebody thought that she was that just the crowd of people that came around her.
Royce Keys.
She was filming, or she was gonna film something. I guess she was gonna go meet up. I believe with Minnie Portable and Alex Queen of the Ring. She just said she was gonna go meet up with two friends. Though that was just my assumption that that's who she was gonna go meet up with. But she said she was gonna go meet up with two friends. Some guy walked up to her with a board and and it had a picture of Sol Ruka on it, and the guy thought that she was Sol Ruka.
Oh my God.
And then all of a sudden she said it was like a horde of people just started crowding around her because they thought that she was Sol Ruka. But it's crazy how fans are. Let me tell you something, and I have the picture. You guys have already seen it. CJ Perry. Mm-hmm. When I walked into the Circa and I saw her, I was like, oh my God. I was literally starstruck. No, I kid you not. I literally saw her and stood there for a second, and I didn't want to bug her because she was doing a little social media she had her dad with her, and she had obviously her social media person with her. She was filming, like saying that she was going to be at Circa. She was pointing at Denise's little show, the show that she was having. And I kind of stood there for a second, and I'm kind of like looking back and forth, and I didn't want to ask her for a picture. So I just said, I like smiled at her, and I said, how cute. I go, that's cute. She goes, oh, do you want a picture? And I said, yeah. I go, but I didn't want to bug you. And she's just like, no problem. No problem. That's how you approach people. That's how you approach wrestlers. They're fucking human beings. Stop treating them like they're fucking animals. They don't owe you shit. Yes, you pay for their merchandise. Yes, you pay to go to see them. Yes. They are performers, much like NFL players, much like soccer players, much like baseball players, NBA players. They are human beings. Treat them as such. That's it.
I remember TNA at Westbury, Jeremy Borash was coming off the stage, and I didn't want to take a picture of him, but I just want to go over and say hello. So I just shook his hand. I said, hey, JB, that was a great night. Thank you so much. He said, thank you. And we had a brief interaction. I did that like that, very respectfully. Shook the man's hand, and he walked out. I went my way. You don't go up to them like this with the phone in your hand. Like I kept mentioning the Royce Keys stuff. Like Royce Keys is like, you know why? I mean, and the guy's like, why can't I take a photo? He's like, because you're invading my personal space and you're wasting my time. That's literally what he said to him. Like, you're invading my time here. Like, I'm going to go now. And he goes, and the dude's like, I'm sorry. He's like, no, I'm going to go. Because I think if he would have kept going, I think he probably would have put his hands on him. First of all, that dude is from the hood. He's from East Palo Alto, California. Do you really want to test Royce Keys? Come on.
You know, the thing that gets me.
Hit me.
And you see it in with rock stars. You see it all over. For example, the K-pop industry is notorious for that. Just because you buy their album, watch their movies, you don't own them. You are not entitled to their personal space nor their personal time. Furthermore, how would you, it's similar to a boss-employee situation. Yes, you pay them. You don't own them.
All right.
Because your boss pays you. Do they own you? No. When you go home or you're trying to do things on your own time, would you want your boss coming up to you and just saying, hey, did you do this thing? Did you do that? Did you get this done, that done? It's the same goddamn thing. Have a little fucking decency and respect to these people. Now, if you were to see Punk or AJ leave, you could have just said a simple, great job tonight, whatever, kept it simple. How many times do we have to have this conversation on this show? We've had it at least 10 times already by now.
It's like SpongeBob SquarePants. How many times do we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
But like it's they're fucking people, and like you said, Roy's kids. Do
you really want to?
Would you want to mess with him?
Well, what about this chuckle fuck? And we'll stay specifically on Punk. This, and I guess the reason why this dude wants an apology is because he probably got mad that CM Punk smacked his phone out of his hand. Because, oh, my phone. Could have been worse.
You know what the best thing is?
What?
WWE said, no.
No.
And Punk's not going to face any disciplinary action, which, honestly, Monday night at TV, everyone probably came up to him and just said, we wish we could have done that.
Yeah, and I mean, the guy, dude, he could have done worse to him. He stared at you, but once you were getting that close to him, her, smacked the phone out of your hand. It's not like he hit you. He smacked your phone.
Being not only a decent person, but he's being a good husband.
And a protector, exactly.
Now, Paul, if you saw somebody doing that to your wife...
y'all gonna have to fucking gather some fucking bail money because I'm gonna be in jail.
Right.
But like I don't see this as him being a talent. This is him being a good husband, a good friend, and just a good person.
Look, if somebody did that to Mama Lark, I would fuck them up. Like, no hesitation.
I'd fly down.
Yeah, thank you. Fuck him. Like,
Shout out to Mama Lark.
Thank you, bro. Thank you all. But no, like, fuck them. Like, these, like, here's the thing. And again, I hate when people go, oh, but this is the lifestyle that they chose and this is what happened. No! Be a fucking decent human being.
So, Andre, so the one thing we acknowledge my wife. See, look at it.
It's like they acknowledge you. Exactly. It's like with Justin Bieber recently. I don't blame him for yelling at him. It's like, y'all just want the money to take my photo. I'm trying to have a fucking cup of coffee. Like, I don't blame Justin Bieber for doing that. The man's just trying to have a cup of coffee. Ahead,
but we look at this past week at last weekend at WrestleMania, and I think I forgot what I was watching, and they were talking about security and what the talent were just like, what security? Like, we don't have security. And that's the reason why, if you go back to remember what happened to Rhea in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
We go back to every incident that has happened in these last few years. Thea Hale. We can go with the list. We could sit here with a list of women. Daria. She literally had to sit in her home with a gun waiting for somebody because she was scared. Why is it a thing? Why do you feel the need? You guys don't go up to football players like this. You guys don't go up to basketball players like this. You guys don't do this to baseball players. Why them? Why these amazing, talented people do you do this shit?
I don't understand.
Well, there was I still go
back to
the video of I forget where it was, but Maria's being hounded, and poor girl's exhausted. She's just wanting to go, to her hotel, and she's just like, get up. She's just like, oh, where do you want me to sign? And then you see Kevin Owens come up on her and just be like, no, come on, let's go.
It's just people need to learn how to be decent human beings. And before
hello is okay.
Fine. That will suffice.
I mean, Rhea did. I remember an interview where she said, if you see her out and about, you just want to say hi, feel free.
So, and I thank Paul for sending these to me, and I'll put some other stuff here in post-production, but this one I will play because this was Andre Chase's message out the door.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I just want to hop on here and let you all know that as of today, I've officially been released from my WWE contract. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you to everybody who threw up the U at the shows, whether you bought my t-shirt, bought my action figure, played with me on WWE 2K. Just know that you truly helped make something out of nothing, because when I signed with WWE on the first day, it was made abundantly clear that I was never going to be on television. I was never meant to be a superstar. I was just here to pass on my knowledge to a younger generation. But then something changed, and it was because of your support. It was because of the connection that we had. Suddenly, I had whole arenas chanting "Chase You" and spelling "Chase You," and I'm forever grateful for everybody who helped me get to that point. I mean, we won championships in WWE, and that was definitely something that you guys did, and I'm so grateful for it. So thank you so much. The chapter is closed on my WWE career, but my chapter is not closed on professional wrestling. So stay tuned, and hopefully I'm going to be in a town near you very soon. Thank you guys so much.
See, that's a professional. That is the right way to go about it. Very professional, very kind, very courteous. Zelina Vega would then go and say, my fans are the absolute world to me. I've lost a lot this year and in my life in general, but I gained all of you. Thank you. Your support means more than you'll ever know. And then, of course, one of the ones that really made the rounds here is we go to Nikki Cross. And Nikki Cross says, goodbye and thank you. I'm really excited for whatever my next chapter will hold. Thank you for all the continued love and support. Special thank you to Robbie Brookside and William Regal for helping this dream come true. Thank you to the wrestlers, coaches, producers, and all the backstage crew who make all this possible. To the amazing girls in the locker room. Gotta love it, man. You absolutely gotta love it.
I know we talk about her going to TNA. I would not be shocked if she ends up in MLW with her husband.
With Big Damo, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Then again, TNA run Reform Sanity.
Reform Sanity. Okay. All right.
I could see that.
Whew.
I think we just have to look at this entire situation and realize you're just a cog on the wheel.
Yeah.
And you'll be replaced, unfortunately, much like any business. You're gonna be replaced with someone else. So
yeah.
Yes, they do have a lot of talent that has come in. Yes, there are a lot of moving parts within WWE. Obviously, we saw on SmackDown tonight. We saw the entire Fatal Influence is now on the SmackDown roster. So it's like now you're being replaced. It's like we already saw a vignette of
Saints.
Blake Monroe. I'm pretty sure the following week or within the next couple of weeks, we'll see Ricky Saints. We already got Joe Hendry, Ethan Page is on Raw. So it's just a matter of time, that we're going to get all these people in different places on the main roster. So what happens next, unfortunately, is like just another part of the business. People are going to be let go. People are going to be replacing whatever. Obviously, with the retirement of AJ Styles, we got the retirement of looks like it's a retirement of Brock Lesnar. I'm just thinking from a business standpoint, we're letting people go and bringing people in. The only thing that sucks is that because you're bringing them in, are you going to have something for them?
Bingo.
Are you going to have a story for them? Are you going to give them a storyline? I am really, really happy to say that what I heard tonight when Fatal Influence came out they were booed.
Yep.
And that's a reaction you want, whether you're a face or whether you're a heel. You want that reaction because you want to know that the fans either hate, and they still hate them from NXT. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, tonight, like having them taking out Charlotte and Alexa Bliss and having them taking out Paige and Brie Bella, and then JC gets the match with Rhea, and then it's a DQ. They take out Rhea. They really see something in JC Jane. She's worked her butt off. They see something in Lady Reed and Fallon Henley. Like they have an option to go for the women's tag title. So you add more contenders to that division. So I think tonight was a success for their debut, but let's see where they go forward. Go ahead, Dave.
It also was revealed today that former IWGP Openweight champion, former IWGP Heavyweight champion, Evil has indeed signed with WWE.
Well, we know who he is.
We know Io Sky's happy.
Yes.
He is. It's rumored he's going to go to NXT.
Well, yeah,
referenced by that box that
Yeah.
was delivered to Tony D. He may not keep the evil name, which I could probably see that. I think putting him on NXT makes sense. They need the help now.
I mean, him and Tony D, I think they're also set up Keanu Carver now to go after Tony D, so you have a lot of talent to work with.
But I think it makes sense. You know, I know it was reported they had also signed Hiromu Takahashi.
Did they get Sonata as well? I think they're going after Takahashi.
I think they're trying to. As far as Hiromu Takahashi, can we have him bring back Daryl?
I would love that. I think, man, the guys from New Japan doing their thing. Takabi Watanabe was someone I remember watching him even do his thing in Ring of Honor. And, of course, the Los Ingobernables de Japón run. But he's another one, just a brick shit house, and he's going to do very well. Paul, what do you think about Watanabe there? Evil getting signed.
I think it's cool. I think it's, and it's obviously it's Kyrie's fiance, she's going to be happy that he's going to be there, obviously. So what he does or where he goes, and what are you going to do with him? Are you going to revamp, throw him on SmackDown, get him with Shinsuke, of somebody who kept their name, by the way, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes, sir.
And I think Evo can kind of keep his name. I mean, it's not a New Japan name. But if it's something he likes, and it's recognizable for him, you really don't want to do too much, especially for certain characters that have been developed in other, especially like Nakamura. They could have just as easily named him something else. Right. That. Oh, but they didn't. And I think with Evo, I think you keep his name. You do what you need to do with him. Whatever you have planned for him, just do right by him.
They're starting to elevate people more from Evolve now. You got Callie Armstrong coming on to the next roster.
For what it's worth, it's evil. For people that are saying, "Oh, that's just rumor," it's been reported by Sports Illustrated. So,
well, yeah, that's the thing. Don't take that lightly. They need more people in NXT, and I think they're going to get a lot of great stuff. They're pretty much presenting everything from the future. And I got to tell you something, if you guys have not checked out the Peacock documentary, watching Shawn Michaels go from where he was to helping out these NXT kids, I've said it many a times, even on this show, Shawn Michaels is the best booker right now in the WWE, bar none, or one of the best bookers out there right now with what he's doing. I did say briefly, I will mention this before I go back to SmackDown, I did watch the 4-part series of the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. Have you guys gotten to watch that yet?
The what?
The Hulk Hogan documentary. Thanks.
The what?
The Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
What? Have you gotten to watch that on Netflix yet, guys?
Absolutely. No, I ain't watching no damn Hulk Hogan fucking documentary.
Second episode. Guess who's in the friggin' documentary?
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Me and Hulk were friends.
That's why I ain't watching it.
Yep. This mofo literally said, sometimes it happens, he's a controversial figure. I'm controversial. I think I'm less controversial than I was. Really? You're less controversial? No, you're not. But yeah, that was the problem. I'm watching this. I get it's a very heartfelt story, but I don't need to see his face. He's like, I just came. I have a meeting with Russia, but I had to come in. Hulk Hogan, they asked me to be in the documentary. I said yes. Great. Yeah. Other than that, the documentary was not that bad. I will say that. So if you watched it,
Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. But if you want to watch it, go ahead. But yeah, other than that, you can say fuck the Donald Trump too on that. Ugh, President dipshit. But other than that, I will also say
President Taco.
Thank you. Also, check out the Shawn Michaels on Peacock thing because that is actually very well done. I will say
that one I'll watch.
Okay. But speaking of something we did watch,
it's wild to me where Shawn Michaels came from. Just how he's changed. I think, and if you had told me the Shawn Michaels from like the mid '90s, and then it's the Shawn Michaels we have now, I would have told you no.
Nah.
But I think it's really matured him. I don't care what Bret Hart has to say on the matter.
Oh God. That-
But I'll say this: I think Sean has done some really great work with NXT. There was that story that Ethan Page had told where Javon in the chair, and he's like, I don't want to do it, but then Sean's like, here, do it to me,
and he did, and it was great. And Ethan was like, say what? And then he did it. It was fantastic.
And Ethan has said, he'll always be a Shawn Michaels guy, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, Bret Hart does talk about making amends with him on that documentary, and they do talk about their history. Bret Hart made the friggin' week, by the way, with this Hulk Hogan thing. So they talk about WrestleMania 9, and he called him a knife-wielding, backstabbing piece of shit, and he said, fuck you to fuck the Hulk Hogan. He said, fuck you to Hulk Hogan. I'm like, you go, Bret. You go. You go, Bret. You go.
I wonder what Bill Goldberg has
Bill Goldberg! God. Anyway, so also from SmackDown, like we mentioned, we mentioned the Cody promo. Ricky Saints is going to be on WWE on SmackDown next week, making his debut. Blake Monroe is coming soon as well. Man, a lot of people were questioning how long Julia's future is going to be because Tiffany Stratton beat Julia for the WWE Women's United States Championship tonight on SmackDown. They showed some dissension with her and Kiana James. I got to tell you, somebody did joke that, hey, was that Julia's last match? That's why she lost the title. Because, she's probably going to get fired. And I'm like, bro, don't put that into the universe. Y'all, what'd you think about Tiffany Stratton winning the U.S. title from Julia?
Not shocked.
Not shocked either.
Not shocked at all.
No.
And it was...
I love Julia.
But they're not doing anything with her.
I know! They're not! They called her
back to the dumb shit that they're not doing. And God, we could sit here with this whole creative thing. You could say that it's because Chelsea's injured. You could say whatever you like, but I'm sorry. Triple H has no idea what to do with the talent that he has. It's like every bit of the storylines that he thinks are going to grab to people are just not gravitating towards anybody.
The thing too
sucks.
Yeah. That's my thing too. Is like Tiffany doesn't need this, but I think her first feud is going to be with Blake Monroe. You play off the Tiffy time and the glamour. I think that's where you bring Blake Monroe in. But this is something like Tiffany doesn't need this title. Like she's already established. She's already doing her thing. Or if Chelsea Green gets out of the boot, I think that's going to be her feud because of the whole ankle thing. And that's also another reason why I'm going with it. We're going to get Stratton and Green. But like I'm watching the SmackDown tonight. That was one of the big things. We also got to see. So are we going back to Bloodline 2.0 now? But this time it's Bloodline versus MFTs. So Jacob Fatu cuts the promo that he wants Roman. And the Usos come out are like, hey, man, come with us. Level up, do your thing, And then Solo's like, hey, you need our help to beat Roman, which makes no sense because you're the ones who kicked him out of the goddamn MFTs. But okay, that's fine. And he wanted to get away from you. But that happens, and it's just like, bro, like you guys have that feud. Jacob's not going to the MFTs. And tonight he beats Solo, and he beats every member of the MFT up, saying that he doesn't need their help, and I'll see Roman on Monday. But, of course, this week on Raw also pertains to this because it's just like, hey, Jacob, you got to prove yourself, acknowledge me. And then you have Roman say the line to Jimmy like he told to Jay, like, you know what, you talk some sense into your cousin. And I'm just like, bruh, we're literally, this is 2022 all over again. We're going back to Bloodline, but this time it's Bloodline versus MFTs, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. So let's see what they do. And Daniel Crimmins, I know you were not a fan of Roman and Jacob, the main event of Raw. What do you think about that and tonight where Jacob Fatu's mollywopping everybody?
It's not believable. They are going to fuck this up, and they are going to have Roman beat Jacob because, and you're going to have the Usos turn heel again.
On Roman?
No.
On Jacob?
Like, if Roman is still supposed to be a face,
yeah,
why did he cut a heel promo on Raw?
Well, that was the thing. He's like, man, I don't want y'all to serve me, but we're still family. Acknowledge me. Look, I'm looking forward.
It's basically when you say, I don't mean to be an asshole, but
I'm going to be an asshole.
It's basically like the precursor to saying, I'm going to be a real asshole for a minute.
And look, I think the match is going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it, but it's how we build. It's what we do, what we do.
I've got to wonder if they're planning a draft soon.
I think they are, yes. If not, or some kind of shakeup.
As far as people wondering if Julia's going, I think if anything, Kiana James will go.
Really?
I could see
Okay.
it.
Paul, what do you think about the main event segment of Roman and Jacob, and now we got Jacob beating up Solo and the MFTs and telling the Usos I don't need nobody?
Roman and Jacob was pretty much a surprise to a lot of people.
Same, me
As
too.
soon as we heard ha, ha, ooh, ha, ooh, as soon as we heard that, man, both my wife and I popped. We were like, you have got to be shitting me. This is who's going to come out? Like, really? And oh my God, the segment itself, hands down, grabbed us. As much as it grabbed a lot of people, surprised a lot of people. Like, I wasn't expecting Jacob to be on Raw. I wasn't expecting him to be part of anything, at least maybe something on SmackDown. Maybe he was going to find out who attacked him, we
still don't know.
Stuff, and maybe it was Solo, maybe it was somebody else, maybe it was Drew, maybe it was Cody. I don't know. We don't know.
Maybe you
But
could always say it's Roman.
Maybe it's Roman. And we never got a conclusion to that. So it's like, again, back to the things that we don't get conclusions of from storylines.
My thing, too, is to even go into your point, like Dan mentioned the draft. So here's my thing, because the other big thing that came out of it was CM Punk was cutting his promo in the ring. Out comes Cody. And I think they're going to move Jacob to Raw. And Cody and Punk have this great promo. Just say the word. I think we're going to get CM Punk and Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight title going towards SummerSlam. Are you guys looking forward to Punk and Cody?
I would. I don't know if he's still. Can we talk about one statistic?
Yes.
That's kind of weird.
Okay.
But not so weird. Do you know that CM Punk has literally dropped a world title to all three members of the Shield?
Yes, he did. John Moxley in AEW, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Yep.
There's a fun fact.
Here's a fun fact. You made out with your sister, man. And Eurotrip. Anyway, go ahead.
I know. God damn it. I like that movie.
That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, look at you over there going, you like The Day After Tomorrow. Be quiet.
That's your favorite movie?
Fucking hate that movie.
What do you hate more, that or the movie 2012?
He's all like, it's like, yeah.
It's cool, but if I had to be completely honest with you, I saw both in the theaters. One, I was 12, and then I saw 2012 literally when I was older as a teen and to early adulthood. I would rather sit through 2012 again than sit through The Day After Tomorrow. It was that bad for me. It was an experience. You got to understand. I'm going to Quorum and I'm 12, and I'm like, no, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I'm just like, no. I actually, in a way, would rather sit through 2012 just because from a kid standpoint. But if I'm honest, looking back at it now, I'd rather sit through The Day After Tomorrow. If I'm really
to 2012's credit, that movie, it did have some good visuals.
It did. I'm not going to lie. It actually did.
Watch it on a nice TV.
Yeah.
It's really, Day After Tomorrow for its time was a visually appealing movie.
It was.
Yeah, what he said.
Anyway.
Okay, so anyways, back to the conversation at hand. I forgot what the fuck we were talking about. Good Lord, now you got me on with the damn movies and whatnot. Oh, so CM Punk
for SummerSlam.
Okay, I don't want to draft anymore. I'm so fucking tired of this bullshit. You've already thrown people on different shows. You don't have anybody specifically on one show over the other. We've already seen that over the past year. So if I'm doing anything, shake it up, put somebody here, say that these people were going over here, just say that what the hell's his name? God damn it. The fucking GMs got together and they decided, hey, you know what? Hey, we'll trade across, so-and-so to so-and-so, and you guys can have this people. And because it's like, it's so redundant now to have either of the two, but if you're gonna do anything, do a shakeup. Just say, hey, look, you're gonna go here, you know, they're gonna go there, or they're in a transfer portal, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I will say this though, besides out of all these drafts and people coming in, Sol Ruka is a trooper. That table fall that she had on NXT, 8 staples in her head. That, and the day before, she's on Raw with Liv Morgan and loses because of Zarya. But that match she had with Liv Morgan, I'm so excited for Sol Ruka now to be on Raw. But shout out to Sol for just being an absolute friggin' trooper and an absolute star that she is. Speaking of stars, others that came back besides the greatness of Sol Ruka, this one I really want to get your guys' thoughts on, besides the fact that how awesome it is to see Sol, because we all love Sol here. But out of nowhere, the Vision is beating down Seth Rollins, and who comes out to make the save? Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are back. What do you guys?
Montez gonna need the money because he gonna be a daddy. So
that is true. Your guys' thoughts on Sol Ruka's debut on Raw?
And we can go back to what Angelo Dawkins posted, and it's like he ain't got no pullout game. So,
so your guys' thoughts on Sol Ruka and the Street Profits return on Monday Night Raw?
I loved it. You know, it was kind of random, but okay. You know, it's
new challengers.
Did they just come out to help Rollins, or maybe?
Well, let's look at Seth Rollins and what he calls himself. He calls himself the Visionary, Revolutionary, and he has all these monikers. Well, guess what? He's on the third one, which is Revolutionary.
Yep.
And so are we going to look at it and now he's going to form his revolution?
With the Street Profits to take out the Vision? That'd be cool.
No, I mean, he can pretty much do the same thing. And now he can create a revolution.
Say you want a revolution.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'll go back to something that you mentioned just before this. It's like you were talking about Sol Ruka and going through the table down in NXT, the last woman standing match.
Fantastic.
So I was listening to Busted Open yesterday. It was Bubba Ray and it was Natty. Natty was talking about the reasoning behind her not wanting to do anything high flying or death defying, like anything like being on a ladder, any ladder matches or doing anything off of like a scaffolding or doing anything like that. She says, she said that what traumatizes her the most is doing those type of things because of what happened to her uncle.
Yes.
And she went on to state that over the time, like she said that was always traumatizing to her, that even thinking about it, getting up, even if they wanted to do like a ladder match or stuff like that, she's kept saying like those were the traumatizing things that, because she was little when Owen died, and so to her, that was always traumatizing to her, even when she would see somebody in her family do something like that. So when she sees other wrestlers do it, it's always like, to her, it's all that she gets the flashback. And she does that. And Bubba kind of understood it. He goes, for sometimes, he goes, I just don't think about it. Like he just said, like, doing the ladder matches with the Hardys and Edge and Christian, it was always just something you do because it's something you're asked to do in the ring. So she looks at all the women who do it, but she said that's just not something she would do. And I think she referred to a match with I can't remember who it was, but I know it was a match that she had with somebody, and she changed Charlotte Flair. And yes. She changed the finish up to like, I think it was like they wanted her to jump off of something and then go through the table. And JBL told her, watch out on the announcer's table because there's a metal piece that goes across the tape or goes like on the corners of the table. He goes, and you don't want to hit it. So they changed so she went back and she changed the finish to the match because she didn't want to do anything like that because it was traumatic to her. So she wouldn't do it. And Charlotte was cool with it. Charlotte was like, okay, we won't do that. We'll do something else. So I think the match ended in like a schoolboy roll up, which was kind of not the most practical finish, but it was a finish nonetheless.
I think that might have been either the NXT match or her debut on Raw is when that happened, if I remember correctly, if I have my timeline correct. But that's the thing too, man. It's high risk, high reward. And I agree with their sentiments on that. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of those teachings of Bully Ray when we get to LFG Season 3 this Sunday on A&E. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future does hold for all of these amazing talents. I think it's how you do with it and how you follow up through it, like we mentioned. But that's the thing, man. It's been such a crazy week, and we're already 1 week out from WrestleMania, and we got Backlash coming out in 2 weeks. So let us see where we go from here. Before we do go any further, I do want to play this because Paul gave me some of these great ones here that I got to put up. So more from the people that were talking about being released. So the Bollywood Boys said, I kept the screenshot of the call we got from WWE for our release 5 years ago, a 2-minute call. I've used this screenshot as a reminder at every indie show to help keep the dream alive in the 5 years. To everyone affected today, use whatever motivation you can. One love. So I thought that was really nice from the Bollywood Boys. And then you get to people like Mustafa Ali over here. Mustafa Ali, out of everybody, goes, just work really, really hard and everything will be fine. As shitty as the industry can be sometimes, the beautiful thing is fancy heart and hard work. They won't let the dream die. The best one here as well, one of the ones, Donovan Dijak is another one here. We'll put him on the screen. We have my heart is broken for everyone who found out today that their dream was taken from them for now. You are all amazing, and your value is not dictated by a handful of people's opinions. I hope we get to wrestle all of you soon, especially Joe Gacy, which I thought was cool because that was very, very feud.
Can you pull up AJ Francis?
So Slay Pet P, good old Piper Niven, said, thank you for your Hervis Slagent A, more than a wrestling soulmate, a hero life partner too, if you will, a true pioneer and soon to be remembered as one of the greatest to ever do it. Run wild, my demon, pirates for life at ease, Slagent. So I thought
that's literally one of her best friends.
Yes,
it's just in life in general. That is literally, Kaylee is literally one of her best friends. Much like Isla Dawn, that's one of her best friends. And they grew up on the Indies over in England. So
IC baby.
Yeah.
So AJ Francis, to Daniel's point, wrote, it seems like a good day to remind people that sometimes bad news is good news. And this is when he got released in 2023 by the WWE. And AJ Francis, I'm going to say, very underrated. He's doing his heel thing now in TNA, and he's found a life of his own outside of being what he was in Hit Row. Like, everybody is just such well wishes here. Of course, mommy herself, Rhea Ripley. Today's been a very sad day. Absolutely gutted for my friends and comrades. Worst time of the year. Go prove them all wrong. And of course, we'll go to Chelsea Green next. And Chelsea Green would say, you guys didn't get to see how talented KLR is. I know you saw bits and pieces, but trust me, there's so much more to her. She's a fearless wrestler. I'm sad to not have her on my side, but this is just the beginning for my girl. Thank you for having my back, Slagent A. Love you. And then we get to Amanda Huber, and then I'm going to play the killer one. Amanda Huber writes, seeing the news today from today is something I'll never take joy in. The upside, however, is that other promotions have the potential to add some incredible people to their rosters. Wishing everyone love and success and whatever comes next. And
I love the GIF.
Me too. I love that too.
Adventure is out there.
And then, of course, we go to Killer Cross. I will say two things at this present time. Continue to support your favorites no matter where they are or where they go. Our newest project is in post-production. Will be available soon. Now, would you like me to play the link to see what Killer Cross has to say?
Yeah.
All right.
I do my best to listen to what people want to see. And then I also kind of attempt to introduce things that they haven't seen before, perhaps.
I wanted to take a moment tonight to give back. I always try to. This is where I started. Everybody knows that 12 years ago.
Or things I think that they might like. It's a bit of an experimental process, but the majority of it is always going to be what they're telling the industry what they want. It's not as difficult as corporations like to pretend it is. I mean, I know that the crowd is not all in one singular unified voice telling the industry what it wants, but there's a common ground between everyone. We try to find that, and we try to make it as exciting as possible. People don't even understand that are casual wrestling viewers. They think WrestleMania week is just all WrestleMania. They don't even know about the independents most of the time unless perhaps they're following us on socials. And a lot of people do follow Scarlett and I on socials. And we were able to take a lot of casuals, people who maybe just started watching wrestling since it got on Netflix. They were like, where are you guys? They go on our socials, they see what's going on, and then they follow us around everywhere we go. And we got to show them these two events back to back. For some of them, they were telling us at the meet and greets, this is the first time they've ever seen pro wrestling live. And so to be partially responsible for that, it feels really, really good. We're expanding fandom for people. And it's not to throw shade, but sometimes, like, people can't always afford the big tickets. We're not trying to be something that we're not. But every single person that comes in here, they're going to give it everything they've got.
Yep.
Amen to that.
How in the ever living fuck do you fumble him twice?
Oh, I know the answer. Because it's TKO.
Fuck the TKO.
And fuck the WWE, because like Cross is somebody you could make him a champion. Like, remember they teased the whole thing with him and Roman? Did nothing with that. Can't tell me that wouldn't have been a good one.
Yeah, it would have been great.
There was something that I think it was on an interview with Denise. It was Scarlett, and she was talking about about their release and some things that she couldn't say, and now she finally went out and said it as to why they were, or about their release and everything. And about the match that she was that Cross was supposed to have with Roman Reigns. It's like it started with them going into the ring, turning the hourglass upside down, and just pretty much tick tock, and nothing ever transpired from it. So that, I think that was pretty much like the end of Vince, and I think we ended up finding out later on Vince still had a hold on the creative, but he didn't want them to be together, even though Triple H had brought him back.
Yep.
He didn't want to have anything to do with him, or Vince didn't want to have Killer Cross have anything to do with him, so he pretty much pivoted and they went a different direction. That's the unfortunate part, and it sucks deeply because that could have been something big for Karrion Kross / Killer Cross. I thought that would have been, he probably could have been the one to dethrone Roman.
Yeah. I will say this. I don't think Vince ever really left.
No,
I would not be shocked if he's still actively pulling strings now.
I wouldn't either.
I just don't get it. But all I know is wherever the direction that they go now, and we covered a lot on today's show, it's just, let's hope for the best for all these talents that did come up. I'm very happy that they're living their dreams. I'm glad that there's a lot of wrestling out there. And that's the main thing, man. There's such a variety in today's professional wrestling companies and organizations. So let's just see where it goes, because there's great people out there that want to do their thing. And I will say this last thing about the releases. The middle finger to anybody that also wants to see these people lose their jobs and make fun of it. Y'all can literally go fuck yourselves, because I've seen a lot of that today, and that pisses me off. Like, don't be cheering people when they get fired. Like, really, don't do that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's very upsetting to know that a lot of people are so negative on wrestlers in general. It's like, you have to understand, like, if there's no place for you, like even like the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, but I'll use the NFL as probably the best example. If they don't have anything for you on the roster, it's basically they either release you or they send you down to the practice squad, or they give you your outright release. But the fortunate part in the NFL is that you could be picked up by any of the other 31 teams that are there. or 30 teams that are there. So that's an opportunity for you to get picked up somewhere else. Whereas in professional wrestling, yes, you can get released. Yes, you can get picked up by another promotion. But we know what the upper echelon in wrestling is. We know it's WWE. But with the way that fans are going right now, I think a lot of them are veering towards AEW. And I think that scares the underlying profit for WWE, because Tony Khan has made it affordable for families, in which case, oh, speaking of things, before we actually jump off, before we even finish this,
okay,
who was one of the people who said, hey, guess what AEW should do? They should run a show the same day as WWE has WrestleMania.
You did.
Guess who that motherfucker was? This guy right here, that guy right there, and that guy on the other end over there, who kept saying, Tony Khan should, you have to find it, because you want to know who else said it? Some guy named Will Ospreay.
Yep.
And he said it on a show, on a podcast. And I'm thinking to myself, is Will Ospreay listening to us? Is Will Ospreay, did he see a clip that we posted, that one of us had posted? I'm probably going to say yes, because that's a brilliant fucking idea. I wonder where it came from.
That would be us.
That would be us.
Yep. We'll edit that clip in when Paul sends it over so you guys can check out what we're talking about.
And you know what, just for the record,
yes,
because we are such gracious people, Tony, we're going to let you have that one for free.
Just take it, man. Run it. With Saudi Arabia,
we are asking you, do it.
Please. People are already pissed about Saudi Arabia when we've mentioned this, especially Paul. Paul likes to rant on Saudi Arabia.
It was recently reported.
Don't get me fucking started.
That Saudi Arabia might not be renewing the deal.
Weren't they supposed to originally be in Nashville for next year's WrestleMania?
Yes, and that was what I had sent you guys in our chat. It was originally supposed to be in the new Titans Stadium in Nashville. So that was supposed to be next year. Apparently obviously that's not going to happen, because Saudi Arabia wanted to fucking pay him a whole shitload of money, because let's just face it, TKO is in debt.
A lot.
Yep.
And like by a lot. Not a lot, baby girl. Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit. My bad. But guess what?
Now,
it's not just a little, baby girl. It's a whole fucking shitload.
It was, I don't know if you saw it, but Nick Khan spoke to a Senate hearing and was asked by the senator from one of the senators of Ohio about bringing WrestleMania to Ohio.
And what did he say?
He wanted WrestleMania 44, and Khan's like, well, this, that, and the other. And he's kind of like, you should make that happen. This is the world in which we live in.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Fuck the TKO, and fuck the WWE, fuck Hulk Hogan, and fuck that goddamn bitch Vince McMahon for letting this happen. And you know what? It goes back to his speech in 2002. Folks, look at Vince McMahon poison. You have Vince McMahon saying he's going to kill his creation by injecting it with a lethal dose of poison.
So
it was 20-some years later, but here we are.
Here's the quote from Nick Khan, and we'll read it here. So, Ohio Republican Senator Bernie Moreno pressed WWE President Nick Khan on bringing WrestleMania to Cleveland. Khan was representing TKO and Zuffa Boxing in the Senate subcommittee hearing to discuss the House-passed Muhammad Ali Boxing Revival Act alongside Ali's grandson, Nico Ali Walsh, Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar de la Hoya, and Florida State Athletic Commission Executive Director Timothy Shipman. The hearing was chaired by Senator Ted Cruz, Texas Republican, and Moreno was among those directing questions toward those testifying. Much of the questioning was directed to Khan in his capacity with TKO and Zuffa, but Moreno took some time out to press the WWE president on bringing the show of shows to his state. What is it going to take to bring WrestleMania to Cleveland, Ohio? He asked, going on to sell the idea. We're building a brand new stadium right next to the airport. It's the only dome stadium in a cold weather climate that'll be right next to a major airport. You can drive right across the street, 2029 or 2030. Which one's better for you? Moreno added that SummerSlam 2024 was hosted in Cleveland and said it was successful, to which Khan agreed before getting into his response. It was quite successful, we think, for the city. We think for WWE, and we think for our wrestlers, he said. If it wasn't enough that Logan Paul pressures me on bringing WrestleMania to Ohio on a weekly basis, now we feel the pressure from your senator. Moreno pressed once more before the hearing got back into the intended discourse. Total and complete pressure, but you can pick between 2029 and 2030. I'll leave that decision up to you. So yeah, it was Nick Khan talking about WrestleMania in Ohio.
So we're negotiating business on the Senate floor.
Yep. That's the world we live in. And like we mentioned here, the Nashville Convention Business Corporation State, they're now looking at future years to host WrestleMania, which I would have loved it if they would have kept it in Nashville, but hey, it is what it is. That is what makes the world go round. And what makes us go round is what we do and what we love. And that's talking about professional wrestling each and every time with you fine folks. So you got 2 lives from us from WrestleMania's nights 1 and 2. Go back and listen to them on the channel. We had our boy Corey Coulter, a.k.a. Cypher, on night 1. And then Paul, Dan, and I did our thing on night 2. So this show will be out very, very soon, as well as we will be in post-production after this fine program airs. And thank you all for listening. We got a lot to come. We got a pay-per-view, PLE, in 2 weeks for Backlash coming up. So there's a lot to talk about on the road to Backlash. Thank God.
I have to say the Backlash is already happening. So, I mean,
we're already in our own
go online, and you can see all the Backlash all you want. You ain't got to wait 2 weeks.
Nope, you got Backlash already right now. So thankfully it's not WrestleMania Backlash, as they used to call it during the pandemic era.
Thank God.
Thank God. But we will be back in our next episode. Paul, we'll start with you on this one. Where can we find you on the socials? The floor is yours.
The dead man of RWT is right there. Not only can you follow all my links that are down below, you could also follow us on Instagram, and you could follow us on Twitter, which all my links are in my link tree, in my Twitter bio. But you could also follow the official RWT podcast, which is also on Twitter, also on IG. You could also follow the Facebook page, which is also, the link will be down below. So all of our social medias will all be there. Mr. Daniel Crimmins, my brother, where can we find you?
Links are going to be down below. Got some cool stuff coming. You all have to check it out. TSK, we recently did a show for WrestleMania. Not sure if that has been posted yet.
Damn it, Mo.
Damn you, Mo.
But we got that coming at some point.
Put out the show.
Shows, Mo.
Yeah, what they said.
Mike and I, we do Uncaged. We got another show we're recording some point soon where we are going to be discussing the Cruiserweight division.
Hell to the yeah, man.
Which I think made me a WCW fan.
As it did a lot of us, especially we're transitioned to the WWE.
Back when Rey Mysterio's knees worked.
Oh, jeez. We'll get into that.
That poor man.
That guy. Cruiserweight.
Yes. Oh, and Dan, anything else to plug for the pundit before I go?
Good stuff coming.
So that being said, y'all, if y'all want to check yours truly out, it's S&M Network shows on the YouTube, where you get On the Mic But Mike, the RWT podcast, Uncaged, the Stephen Mike Show. You get LFC podcast, Pop Culture. You get Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling with Rob, Nicola, and I. You get a whole lot of smorgasbord of everything from what we all do on this fine channel. If you want to go on Twitter, it's SM Show 1 or MCL92. If you want to go to Instagram, it's MLarkinMB or Larkin_92. LFCfights.com and StephenMikeShow.com for all your audios, videos, and everything in between. So with that being said, we appreciate you listening to this fine show tonight. For Paul Morales, for Daniel Crimmins, my name is Mike Larkin. We'll see you in the next episode. We acknowledge Paul's wife as we put up the
Paul's wife.
We acknowledge Paul's wife.
Put up the ones.
Put up the ones for Paul's wife. We appreciate you.
I go a little bit higher, so yeah.
We're going higher and higher, like a Jackie Wilson.
Can you take me
higher? Hit him with that. And on that note, we will see you in the next episode. Right.